My friend made a false accusation against me, and as a result, my family threw me out of the house. Later, when the truth finally emerged, I still could not find it in myself to forgive them. I never imagined my entire world could fall apart in the span of just one day, but that is precisely what occurred. Everything familiar to me, everything I had relied upon, including my family, my friends, and my entire social network, was suddenly torn away because of a single fabricated claim. It all began on what appeared to be an ordinary day. I was sleeping peacefully in my bedroom when I was jolted awake by loud, forceful knocking on the door. My heart began pounding even before I could fully react. Moments later, the door flew open and four police officers stormed into my room, yelling commands at me. I had no clue what was happening. At first, I assumed they might have mistaken the address or were pursuing someone else, but that was not the case. They were specifically there for me. They stated my complete name and announced that I was being arrested for criminal damage. I stood there motionless in disbelief, still only partially clothed, bewildered, and filled with fear. My mother remained frozen in the hallway, her hand over her mouth in shock. My father gazed at me with pure disappointment and revulsion, as though I had just confessed to being the most despicable individual imaginable. My younger brother watched me with wide eyes, not even blinking. Before I could make sense of the situation, the officers seized me, placed handcuffs tightly around my wrists behind my back, and began reciting my rights. I asked for an explanation, but they declined to provide any details. They searched through my belongings, confiscating my phone, wallet, and even my watch. Then they pulled me out of the house into the open daylight. Neighbors watched intently, and passing cars slowed down to observe. I felt as if every shred of my self-respect had been taken from me right there in front of everyone. At the police station, the ordeal intensified. They finally revealed the nature of the accusation, supposedly leaving bodily fluids on a girl's personal items. Initially, I actually chuckled because it seemed so ridiculous. But I quickly realized they were completely serious. The most devastating aspect was that the accuser was a person I had regarded as a friend. We had spent time together on multiple occasions. In fact, only a few days earlier, I had visited her home to watch films. Nothing improper had taken place. I had shown her complete respect. I considered her to be a decent person. I had never crossed any boundaries with her, yet here she was, making statements that portrayed me as some kind of vile predator. They placed me in a holding cell for 10 hours before any questioning began. Those 10 hours were spent sitting in isolation, staring blankly at the walls, desperately trying to understand how everything had gone so terribly wrong. When the questioning session finally started, the officers twisted every single inquiry. Had I